Howdy folks, and welcome back to another episode of the Sith Element. My name is Richie, and this show is all about Star Wars The Old Republic. Now this is episode number 2, and today we're going to talk about the issues with Ilum. If you watched the first episode from last week, we talked about Game Update 1.1, and one of the big changes in there is they were trying to make some improvements to the endgame planet of Ilum. Now this is supposed to be a highly PvP zone, open world PvP, and the problem was it was really boring because the daily and weekly quest requirements were all about capturing objective points and didn't actually encourage people to actually fight each other. So what happened was factions were basically trading objectives just to get their quests done quicker, and there wasn't a lot of fighting going around. In fact, if you were fighting the other faction, it was kind of frowned upon because you were slowing down the progress for everyone. So they made some changes in the patch, the game update last week, to basically change the quest to say, hey, you actually have to kill other people in order to complete it. And we thought this was probably going to be a good thing. The problem is there were several problems with the implementation, but key among them was that there is a huge faction imbalance going on in many of the servers in Star Wars: The Old Republic. On some servers, the Empire outnumbers the Republic over a 2-to-1 ratio, and this just caused massive zerging. There wasn't proper, caps on the population put in so that, it could limit how many of one side versus the other side would go in, and, it just created mayhem. The Empire was just zerging the other side, farming the Republic, and there was actually a nasty little bug that actually allowed the Empire or one of the sides to get into, the spawn point of the enemy, and so they could actually just sit right where the players were spawning and just camp them over and over and over again. It created a ridiculous imbalance. A lot of people were unhappy about this, obviously, and in some servers, some people got valor points from farming the other side much quicker than it was ever intended. So now, it's just a big mess. BioWare is basically, they made several posts about it, and that anybody who was, exploiting this to a great degree is going to have their account looked at. Maybe their valor might be rolled back or whatever. It's just been a big mess. So they put an emergency patch in. They actually shut down Ilum for a little while in terms of they removed some of the taxis, and they actually made a post that encouraged people not to go in there until they had patched it. They have subsequently put out another patch that did a couple tweaks. They took out that bug so you can't actually camp the spawn point. So when you die, you can still come in, and there's actually taxi points where you can, go to other places safely. But it does, and they actually lowered the number of people that are allowed on Ilum, I guess, to kind of, throttle the frame rate issues that a lot of people are having too, because it's just a mess with all the people in there. But they didn't do anything to kind of solve the faction imbalance problem. For as far as we know, there have not been you have to go in one to one. Maybe they should put it so that, if there are 50 people on the Republic, there can only be 50 people on the Empire in there. I know that people don't want to wait in a queue to kind of go to the open world PvP planet, but I'm not seeing, if there's that much of a discrepancy on a lot of these servers between the Empire and the Republic, what other choice do you have? Otherwise, it's just going to be an unfair advantage all the time. And, some people might like to actually face roll the other faction. That might be fun. But I think there's a lot of people that also don't like that. Even if you're on the greater side faction, it's just not compelling gameplay to just go in and not have any kind of challenge. So there's a bunch of issues that still have to work out with this. All right, now that they put some emergency patches in place, it does seem like things have stabilized a little bit, though there are some still faction imbalance issues. But now people are going ahead and doing this, kill trading. There are videos online showing a big group of Republic just standing there in a big pack and letting the Empire just completely obliterate it, and then they all respawn and they group up, and then they let the other side go ahead and just obliterate. And it's come on, guys. This is blatantly cheating. It's not playing the game as it intended. And I hope BioWare does something against these kind of accounts. And it's just kind of silly. Just play the game. Don't try to exploit the game. It makes me so mad. What's the point of that? You just want to get the rewards and you don't want to have to actually play the game? Is that what you want to do? Really? So anyway, the underlying issue, and I've said it a couple times, but it's that there is a faction imbalance, and BioWare has to do something to kind of thin this out. They should have seen this coming. I think some of the numbers when they were doing the guild placement program in the beginning, they saw that there were going to be a large number of Empire side, Sith side guilds, much higher number than the Republic. They have to put some sort of incentive in place for people to start rolling Republic on these servers. They have to, give them faster experience points, faster valor, some sort of buff maybe to the faction that has less people in Ilum, something to incentivize people to start rolling on the Republic, because this is an issue that just won't go away easily. So long term, they have to start thinking long term here and fix this right up front, because if you're gonna tout PvP in your game, obviously you have to kind of have some sort of balance going on there. So I hope they get on the ball on this and do something quickly, because it can plague the game for a long time to come. For now, things have settled down a little bit. There's no more of that excessive faction grinding going on necessarily, but until they put some steps in place to make this planet kind of a rewarding experience, I don't know. It's getting a lot of bad press for the game at the moment. And it's a shame too, because on the PvP side, the war zones that they have, Huttball and the Alderaan Civil War and the Voidstar, those are really compelling battlegrounds. They're really well done. People are enjoying them a lot, and the fact that the 50s are now in their own bracket has gone really well. And I just think all the problems with Ilum are kind of overshadowing the success that they've done in PvP in general in the game. So it's a shame that the game is having all this bad press right now. Hopefully they can get past it. Hopefully they can put some improvements in. It really feels like Ilum should not have been put out at this point. It feels a little bit half-baked. It doesn't feel like it was fully developed, and it kind of was just put out there, and it was put out there broken. So hopefully we see some changes that kind of make it compelling, so that this issue can die down and we can kind of focus on the areas of the game that are very successful, because a lot of people like to get very negative about different things, and I hope it doesn't tarnish what they're trying to do. They've also put out some information about some new things that are going to be coming up. I know there's another big update coming out in March. I think some of the stuff that they're going to put in there is there's going to be a new war zone, so that'll be interesting to see how that is. And they've hinted at, but they haven't confirmed, that it might actually be another war zone that you can fight your own faction in, kind of like Huttball. So that would be really cool. They have actually said that there's going to be a new flashpoint, I believe, the ability to customize your UI, which is sorely needed, and some other general things like that. So they did put out a video saying that. So again, the content is coming out pretty quickly. So that's about it for today. That's going to wrap things up. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments field below. Did you have any experiences with Ilum? What did it look like to you? What do you think they could have done differently? How do they fix this zone? Let me know what you think. And, of course, you can follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Google+. I'll put all the links below. And click on that subscribe link so you can be notified when future videos are released. Give me a thumbs up, and thanks to everybody for watching. Have a great day.
Your powers are weak, old man. You can't win, Darth. If you shall strike me down, I will become more powerful than you could possibly imagine.
What do you mean?
It's called wind trading. Everyone's doing it on Ilum. You strike me down, and then I come back, and I strike you down. And we just go back and forth like that, doing it until we have all the valor ranks we want and all the weapons we could possibly imagine.
That sounds amazing! Let's do it! Ha 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 ha!